What's going on, PricePlow Nation and NutraBio Nation? This is Mike and CJ here. Not the NutraBio crew. This is Ben Kane, and Dan Margolis here with NutraBio.
You just introduced that the NutraBio Nation. Now look,
I said PricePlow Nation and the NutraBio Nation.
I'm a little bit topic. Yeah, I'm a little bit bitter about that, man.
Why is that?
That was our intro. They turned it into like.
You guys have been around since 1996.
Has the NutraBio Nation been around since? Damn.
Welcome to PricePlow. I really want to find out when you started using that line, because I know when we started, and I'm not going to tell you until I find out when you did.
To be fair, I actually just hijacked it from Mike. I think Mike was just saying it in passing at one point, and I just picked it up. But I knew how important like an intro is.
Stop hitting the table if you can. I think Mike's going to do that. No chance. Not going to happen.
All right.
So anyway,
it's cool because we both kind of have like nations, like
the nations. Yeah.
Like you guys have those like investigative, curious minds that want to call you out on smashing lids of bottles, and I don't know.
And so we're doing this as a podcast style interview, if you can't tell. So the podcast, PricePlow Podcast, powered by pre-workouts, which brings us to what are these labels here? That's IntraBlast, it's not a pre-workout, but this NutraBio Pre, but the label looks a little bit different because this is NutraBio Natural. So let's just start it off by, I want to drink some of this, but let's have you guys talk a little bit about what's going on here. It's like what, March 3rd, 2018 or so, and it looks like you're launching a naturally sweetened pre-workout.
Yes, this is our NutraBio Naturals Pre, and the differences between our regular Pre and our NutraBio Naturals Pre is this is going to be sweetened with stevia, not with sucralose, for all those natural consumers out there that have been asking NutraBio to make a natural version of our Pre NutraBlast for the last few years. We finally have for you guys. This is not just a product sweetened with stevia. It actually tastes really good too. We have products that honestly I can say might taste better than our sucralose versions. So we have 2 flavors launching in each, and we're going to taste test one today for IntraBlast, one for Pre. I believe we're going to do Pre-Green Apple and Intra Sweet Tea. And above that, not just actually naturally sweetening these products, we're actually switching a few ingredients, such as we're changing the form of caffeine to green coffee bean and things of that nature as well. But I don't want to ruin the surprise and launch that yet. Give you all the details. You guys will see it in a few weeks when it's shipping to your doors.
Now, can I, just being transparent with you guys, a little bit nervous right now, and it's because, so I'm well known as a stevia hater on the channel, okay, so I'll admit that, but also, like, until recently, NutraBio, you guys weren't necessarily known for the flavor systems. I mean, you're known for all the quality, all the good shit that goes in there. I'm gonna give you lots of credit. But when it came to the flavors, I feel like just recently starting to really kind of get cool with them. But like a part of me is still realizing that the OG days of NutraBio, and now we've got a stevia version of NutraBio, and it's like,
I'm gonna tell you, like right off the bat, if you ask anyone in the office during our taste tests, you might hate stevia as much as I do, but I don't know anyone else that does, because it leaves that horrible taste in the back of my throat. Right. It doesn't go away no matter what you drink. It just sits there, and it's bitter.
You're talking about stevia in general, not your stevia.
Well, so this, I can tell you for a fact, this is gonna blow you away.
Really? Wow.
Because,
So you guys were talking big game when we came up with the idea of this podcast. Part of it, you were talking big game out of the green apple one, and then you show up with sweet tea. So what's going on?
Now we're launching both. We're going to taste test one today. Intra Sweet Tea, that's one of our #1 sellers right now. So I definitely think we should try that. But the Pre-Green Apple, we have made the claim that it may or may not taste better than our actual Pre. So that's why we're going to taste test that one today.
I gotta be honest with you, like that green apple, I would drink instead of our green apple.
Cool.
I mean,
wow.
So that's amazing.
Let's do it.
All right, let's mix it up.
That is the unlabeled bottle. All the way to the left.
The green apple.
Yes.
I gotcha. Yeah. Sweet.
Well, and so to clarify, the first we're going to be taste testing tea first. Is that
green apple?
Green apple.
Oh, green apple first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do the honors here since you guys know the water and all that. In the meantime, so obviously this month, last month, and this month, big NutraBio-based month here at PricePlow. So we've been really excited to have you guys on. And honestly, you guys are doing so much new stuff that I can't keep up with you, even when you are like one of our sole focuses. So it's like, it's amazing how much
Sometimes
you're doing.
it can be a little difficult.
Yeah, so I can't imagine what's going on in the factory. I'd like to we'll get into that, talk about what it's like working for Mark Glazer, talk about Ben Kane's importance at the company.
Look at the bottom.
Have you ever mixed a pre-workout before?
Does it say green apple?
I remember my first supplement.
It doesn't say anything.
I didn't even hear it.
It says 704 grams pre-natural.
What are they doing?
Pre-natural. Ooh, sorry, I swapped the
There you
labels
go.
before. It is this one.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot I swapped the
You
labels.
tried.
My bad, guys.
Yeah, we got the. So are these
That's-
beta
yeah,
tubs?
yeah,
Is this production? Is this a
This
main
isn't
production
even
run,
like,
or is it like a beta
no,
run?
this was made by Michael Perez,
Yeah.
your best
Yes,
friend
yeah,
at
yeah.
the facility.
This was made right before we left for the Arnold, so I could bring some with myself and Ben to
To
the
do this
Arnold,
kind of thing.
as well as bring it out to Expo West, which is next week. So
Right, and that's where you have a lot more of the natural style people that are going to love this kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Michael Press is that smells good.
Yeah.
Did you smell that?
No.
I
You want
smell.
to get a little what?
Yeah. Well, wait, NutraBio, your green apple flavor's always been great. I've always thought.
Oh yeah, that's
So our
intense.
green apple, and I think this is something that you and your consumers have both talked about, is that when you do a green apple, you either have a Jolly Rancher or you have a Granny Smith.
Yeah.
yeah.
We go for that Granny Smith.
Right.
And, I mean, it makes sense to me. I think. I don't know.
I think it's very suiting. Like what's interesting to me is that typically I would go more. Just as a consumer, I like the candy flavors and stuff, the sweeter stuff. But for just looking at kind of NutraBio and thinking about like what NutraBio stands for and all that, it actually makes sense
We
if you
give
go
this
for
the
the more
last
whole
little-
food flavors. You know, like,
Yeah,
like the more,
smart.
yeah, the more
Yeah,
real
pun
fruit
intended.
flavor makes sense for
I
NutraBio.
totally missed that.
So is it's foamy? I take it a little bit foamy. Oh, that's not terrible.
No,
okay.
no, no, no.
There's.
You guys
I
missed
missed-
something.
yeah, I missed
you
it.
missed something.
Oh no.
You guys
Well,
tired
well,
of shaking?
And that's,
Oh,
I gave it a little Redcon shake under the table.
there's your thumbs up. So, okay, you got a little green. So the green color, is that coming from turmeric, spirulina, or what do you got in there? I assume.
Well, I'll tell you what
Some I think Ben probably
I'll
knows
tell you what
more.
we're not using anymore. We used to use soy isolates for the green color.
Ooh, and that's not going to fly with this demographic.
That's not in the natural. I mean, we'd like to change that
Yeah.
overall.
I'm smelling that right off the. Okay, cheers, gentlemen.
Yep,
Cheers.
there you
Thanks
go.
for being on our
Ohio.
channel so much.
To
And subscribe to the
Future Life
NutraBio
and-
channel too, because these
NutraBio
guys are on
Nation.
it. That's the best stevia sweetened pre-workout I've ever had by far. I still think your other green apple might be a smidge better, but there's no doubt this is the best stevia pre.
So to me, it was like they're actually two different green apples, really. To me,
no,
I really like this one.
I agree. I actually think that this one actually leans more towards the candy direction than the Granny Smith direction, which is actually interesting. You would think it would be flip-flopped, right?
Right.
But I almost get a little more of that sweet. Now I'm getting some stevia here.
Of course,
I mean,
yeah,
but it's not stinging me. It's not
Right.
sitting on my tongue like raw tea cream, like in the back.
Right.
You know, it's not.
Right.
It's not like that.
Have you tasted better stevia pre-workouts?
I'm trying to think. Like my initial thought is no, but I also don't want to speak out of like.
So now here's the.
I'm more into the natural thing. If every stevia-based product tasted this close to the original, I'd probably be done with sucralose if I had that
Exactly.
option. That's where this is. I've always been saying it's slowly coming. It's now to the point where someone
Yeah.
on my wavelength is, I will take a 4% reduction in flavor to not deal with sucralose. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
He probably
Cheers,
disagree.
Michael Perez. He's been working on this
So-
for over a year.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mike. We also have another flavor pre and 2 of intra as well. So we might even be launching 4 flavors of each within the first year.
Yeah, so Mike is your
wow.
flavorist, and when I was out there in November 2016, still need some of those videos kind of going. We actually, Mike built me a custom-made Intra Blast.
Yeah.
And so he
On
let
the
me
spot.
taste. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He let me taste Intra Blast with 0 flavoring, and those essential amino acids. They don't. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but they don't.
not
Taste,
the
they don't.
easiest to
They
cover
don't
up.
taste
Yeah.
good. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so on the spot, he started tinkering with this stuff and made like Mike's orange mango flavor, whatever it was, and. The guy's a stud. You guys have a
Yeah.
stud flavorist, and I really respect him.
It's like a little subtle brag for Mike. 'Cause Mike, right now, actually, this weekend he went to another class out in Illinois for flavoring.
Oh, really?
He does it like a continued education type.
Does Mark force him to? Let's talk about Mark Glazer. Working for Mark Glazer a little bit. Does Mark force him into these classes, or does Mike
I have
say?
no clue.
What's that?
I don't know.
I personally think Mike
I think-
takes it upon himself to
Yes.
further his education.
If I had to bet.
And he has continued to do that, and that's why he's gotten better and better and better. And that's not necessarily even his full-time job at NutraBio. This is just another hat that he wears, and that's what serious kudos to him because
Really?
he's done some work.
I thought he was full-time flavorist.
You know what? It's one of his hats. You know,
Wow.
he is he's a worker, man. We put him to work, and he got it done for us.
So something really cool about Mike is about a year ago he went out, I think it was in Illinois again, he goes to these classes pretty often, and these classes have like flavor chemists for some of the top brands out there, not just supplements. These are flavor classes for food, drinks, all sorts of stuff.
E-cigs, that's where all the flavorists get.
It's kind of interesting,
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the class, there's some sort of contest, some sort of scoring system for creating this flavor, and Michael completely just dusted everyone there. Among the people in that class were the flavor chemists for Coca-Cola.
Oh wow.
Really?
So it's a very small little brand that I
What are you trying to say? So NutraBio is better than Coca-Cola?
So, okay.
We did not say that.
So trends in the supplement industry.
Nutritionally.
I'm seeing cola happen a little bit more.
A little bit.
If Mike's beating the Coca-Cola guys, maybe is
He
is
did,
there a chance of a NutraBio cola flavor ever?
There's a lot of flavors in the pipeline, and ones we already have done that we have not discussed for
Right.
proteins, for pre-workouts, for Intrablast, for BCAAs, and other products you guys don't even know about yet. So we have a lot in the works. We can only pump out a few things at a time, and this was top priority for
Right.
Expo West this year. In the next few months, I think you're going to see a few new things as well. So.
Right.
Yeah.
We did taste the cola once, and like my problem with like the soda flavors in the supplement industry is like if you don't mix it with seltzer, it doesn't just like I don't like flat soda.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I personally feel the same about that.
Yeah.
So.
So Dan, as a national sales manager, are you going to be pushing like new stores, different people? Like, does this change your game a little bit? Your role? Wait, this isn't your first natural product, so has the natural series kind of changed your game a little bit?
It has, so recently I took on a new role, so I'm not only working with stores, I'm working with all the national chains too,
Right.
As a director. So I want to get this product in Vitamin Shop, I want to get this product out to bodybuilding.com and in every store in the country, and then from there I want to scale it up, so.
My lips are tingling from the
Yeah.
beta.
That was it, yeah.
Feel it?
I don't know if
CJ's so
CJ
done.
hates beta
He's so
Yeah.
done with beta alanine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, just being honest there, but I'm like, I don't know what you expect. Like, you give me a stevia sweetened beta alanine drink, I'm like, I'm doing my best here, guys. Like,
Yeah, you're not as high energy.
It's not. Well, it's not. Look, again, it's not bad. I will say, like, I'm literally like, I was sipping on this high power potion, and that's one of the most candy sweet, like almost like they crushed up like Smarties
Yeah,
candy.
yeah, I
now
agree.
you go from that like to this, and it is dynamically different. But the more I started drinking on this, the more I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I get
it's
2
definitely
cups,
smooth, and again, I have no stevia bite sitting on my tongue as of right now,
Yeah.
so like that's a good sign. I mean, it's
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
It's just
Arnold
probably
stevia
still
levels are
doesn't sell me. Like, it's still not my product.
Yeah.
But like,
Same price?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's not everyone's product.
Right.
This is a product for the consumer that was looking for that might be going a different direction because NutraBio didn't have that before, and to bring new consumers into NutraBio.
I think it's a smart
and
move.
to get into
And
new
it
wholesale
fits your
accounts,
brand, dude.
and
Yeah.
with the look of it, with the taste of it, with the full line now between the pre-intra, grass-fed isolate, organic plant protein, and the natural BCAAs, we kind of have a full line, and I think we're going to be able to take it all the way.
I mean, look at that little leaf on his shirt there. It just fits NutraBio. It just feels
little
NutraBio.
The NutraBio natural.
the big
you're
leaf
really
on
good
there.
showing that back off.
You guys,
We're going after it.
you guys heard it firsthand. Dan is natural. All right.
So
Moving on.
I know actually one
You
point-
are beat red, dude.
I'm always red. Ask anyone in the office, I'm red all the
I
time.
love. That's why I like
You are
podcasts.
much redder than normal right now. That's true.
That was a bit of a shot. I went across the table, so we're good. Well, no,
we're good.
something that I want, like you guys were talking about.
We're gonna
the
deal with
change
that
in flavor.
afterwards.
Something like with the flavor is that like I don't know. I know you love candy, like strong flavors.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I'm like the youngest person at this table, so I'm gonna sound like an idiot saying this, but I've been drinking supplements for so long that like I'm sick of having like my face pucker or like having such strong flavors. Like,
Okay.
it's nice to have something this is refreshing.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can sip on this.
So I agree it's refreshing. I think that you got to separate though, like just because something is sweet, right? I don't mean potent, right?
Right.
So I agree. Like sometimes they try to take it too far. I mean, I have a lot of appreciation. That's something NutraBio does, and we've said this on camera, is that you stick to the basics. I like that, right? It's like not getting too outside of the box where it's like freaky, Captain Crunch flavor or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have appreciation for that. With that being said, I think like Gatorade's sweet. It's not too potent though.
For sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's kind of the refreshing to me.
Yeah.
So
And let's also be honest about it too. We did an awesome Facebook Q&A with Mark the other day, and I can quote him saying, "If I ever compromised in this whole career, it was adding filler, which
Yeah.
is flavor." So we still, we make this taste great, in my opinion, but the flavoring is still a small amount. If you look at the percentage of the actual bottle that is flavoring, it is still the lowest amount possible while having a refreshing flavor.
Right. Two things to say. So the live Q&A was done on the NutraBio Nation VIP group on Facebook. So join that right now. We'll try to make a link if I remember after all this talking we do. Second thing is, that's what I've always said, is that you guys are kind of handcuffed in a way that because you're fully disclosed and you're saying, hey, you're saying how much stevia is in here, I assume.
Exactly.
You say how much sucralose you have in your regular pre and everything else. That kind of, you have to tip your hand. Some people want to know how much sucralose is in there. And it can be a lot. And actually we're talking about, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Mike, I thought this was an empty can.
No, I'm still drinking
on
it.
camera.
This is going
Okay, this is going good. I'll get you a napkin. Okay, so we're talking about a competitor product here, High Power Potion, that you guys don't have an energy drink, but look at this right here. Carbonated water, L-citrulline, sucralose is before the caffeine. And caffeine's 350 mgs. So I know I'm getting at least
product.
It is incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
And so sorry, CJ.
No, you're
I apologize. But so you're getting incredibly sweet product there, and some people don't realize how much freaking sucralose they're drinking in a day. Is that good or bad? I don't know, but
the real label yet.
I know.
it's something to think about. And when you have sucralose above caffeine in a 350 milligram energy drink, the people who are into the natural series, they're like, that's why. They're like, you know what? I'm drinking 2 scoops of protein powder in a day and a pre-workout. You might be over a gram of sucralose a day, and you're getting into some pretty weird doses where pregnant rats are getting problems.
Still not much, science-based evidence one way or another with sucralose. We always want to go the cleaner route, the safer route, and everything with us, it goes back to if it's science-based or not, and, we want to find the safest way to do it, to provide the best experience and best products for our consumers. So.
And why not make an option for both consumers, too?
Exactly.
I'm going to apologize right now. You said we didn't want to talk about other brands or trash other brands, and I just kind of did it, but it was an example that...
It's their fault.
It was
It's not
you said
ours.
It tastes like crushed
They did
up
it.
candy.
Right.
If that's what they were going for, it definitely looks like the formula would bring it to that kind of flavor.
Right.
But I think a lot of people like that.
Your consumers are definitely a little bit more into this stuff, and they're like, I don't know if I want that much.
No, they're health conscious. They're reading labels.
Exactly.
That's our consumers. So, as the industry kind of turns closer to natural products and moves away from sucralose, we want to be the leader in the sports nutrition category.
And with Mike kept at home, I think you can.
Well, this is something that's hard as a reviewer. Is different doesn't mean bad. And I think that sometimes people want a black and white, and it's like, look, comparing Pro Subs to NutraBio is ridiculous to a certain extent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So and again, like I almost hate the subjective side of our job, to be honest with you, because everybody was, well, how did CJ feel on that? Well, what does that mean to you, though? You know what I mean? Like I know I'm trusted, and like I'm not saying if I felt bad, then maybe that does affect your consumption. But my caffeine tolerance, my taste buds, all of these things.
I remember early on when Mark let me start interacting with you guys a little bit more, when Mark was kind of sitting back. I remember thinking I want to impress CJ because Mike is super scientific. Mike understands the ingredient profiles. I know CJ knows the ingredients, but you like the edgy stuff,
right?
And that's cool. Hey, I'm a powerlifter. I like some edgy stuff too. But I want to show these guys that we can be cool.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I want to show this guy we can do that too. So there is a total subject. I mean, there's no muscular dude on. I mean, this is our natural product, but even our not natural series, it can have that hardcore aspect to it while also being scientific.
Everyone's an individual with how a product, works with them, what they like, but what's cool to everyone is different. Personally, I think something's cool when someone loves our product, they're getting what they need out of our product, and now we fit the mold for them. Our new consumer that is looking for stevia, not sucralose. So that's cool to me. I want to make my customers happy.
As long as we point it to the right demographic, there's something for everyone. I always, in my reviews, try to say, for this one, I did say, I was like, yo, dude, if you got a sweet tooth and you're cool with it, go for it. Because the Island Punch flavor was incredible for sweet tooth people. Now, someone's like, nah, I'm a salty tooth, and they know not to get it. But I'm not. There's always something for everyone. So I'm always trying to funnel people in the right direction. That's honestly the best thing you get, the best I can do as a reviewer. whatsoever.
No.
This puddle is driving me nuts. I'm gonna have to like go get a napkin or something.
Okay, all right.
It really
So you're a sweet person.
Yeah. Well, so
That one's a cap on it.
That's
Don't worry.
yours.
there was actually, well, I was just thinking about something. I feel like I need to get this off my brain before I forget it. But like one of the things, I don't know if we want to get into it on this or not, or if we need to do a separate one or what. But I wanted to talk about how you bring an interesting dynamic to NutraBio directly, and then it's because you have a little bit more of that millennial DNA that speaks to a different population, but the principles are the same, and so. One of the fallacies I think that Mike, kind of accidentally put me under, is whenever I said things like, I want to, NutraBio needs to be cool, he assumed that I said NutraBio needs to be ghost. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, cool is a subjective idea. Anything can be cool, but we're still speaking the same kind of language. So how do you make being transparent, efficaciously dosed, showing third-party testing, how do you make that, no offense, nerdy stuff cool?
Well, dude, look at it this way.
You seem like the guy that's kind of bringing some of that to the crew, in my opinion.
Look at it this way. You're a YouTuber, so you're going to totally vibe with this. Mark found me in a vitamin shop.
Yep.
I was selling products, and he walks in. He was. He asked me what I thought about a product, and I actually am not allowed to talk about this product because I told him it is complete shit. And he loved that I was honest with him. I was like, he asked me why, and I explained to him protein spiking, amino spiking. I had no clue who Mark Glazier was. For the
Oh wow!
I thought he was just a dude walking into my vitamin shop.
You lucky bastard.
And
a fit karate dude.
now, why did I know this stuff? Was because I loved consuming content on YouTube. I was if it fits your macros kind of guy. I was a sopping 185 pounds, but like.
Hey, easy.
Hey, I got like a foot on you, so it's a little bit different. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I consume this kind of content, like this, maybe the same kind of content that the followers of Ghost are following.
Okay.
Guzman, tuning.
Yeah.
People that aren't sponsored by Ghost. People who might tell you those hard scientific facts, like. Don't buy into all these supplements. Look at the classic stuff: creatine, glutamine, BCAAs, following a good diet. That actual information. And I think that just look online right now. Look on forums, message boards, YouTube. That information is there.
Sure.
We put it in a product, and the kids are starting to understand that.
But I think that it's still a limited. Like this has been my. I had this. I know we keep talking about other brands. I had the same conversation with Muscle Elements. I think they're ones that do a really good job with dosing and their products, and they could potentially align with the style that you guys are doing. I want to see NutraBio at the cream rise to the top. I want to see the Muscle Elements. Some of these guys that are, and again, Ghost, great. Like these companies are preaching some righteousness, but they're still such in this huge supplement industry. It is still so small. And so I want to champion that message, and I'm curious the best way to. I feel like I guess I know how to, because basically that's what PricePlow is doing. We're making being smart cool, right? When it comes to supplements, and I think that I just want to say that I think that you bring an interesting dynamic to the crew, because look, Glazier's a genius. Dan's incredibly smart. Like, I've had some of the greatest conversations with you, man. I've really enjoyed it, but. You don't understand or consume YouTube or Instagram like he does. I mean, you're so fast on Instagram messages
sales.
and all that.
I'm numbers. I'm taking something from 10 to 200.
Right.
That's my goal, and that's what I do. I leave the creative shit to him, and
that's kind of like where
sometimes we'll bounce ideas back and forth, but that's why we work together as a team.
Where some cool things happen, like Dan's numbers, which is that needs to be there. 100%.
Sure.
I can lose sight of that kind of stuff very quickly. But then, perfect time to talk about NutraBio Nation. A year ago, I decided that I wanted to create Facebook algorithms for business pages we're going down. I mean, it's hard to. We're posting stuff. We don't have 1 million followers, whatever.
You have 600,000.
We have a certain amount, but we don't connect with them as well as we'd like to.
Right.
We don't have a massive social media team, and I started realizing that one of the most efficient ways to connect with these people would be somehow get the most engaged, or whatever, the people who are most interested into a group, and very intimately engage with them. Get them to know who we are, get our team in there, our athletes. I mean, we have some really passionate, cool kids on our team that want to just talk about diet, training, supplements, whatever. So for the past year, I've just been I've been doing promos on bodybuilding.com's forums, like, hey, I'll give you a sample if you join this crew.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, just like whatever, accruing people.
Is that like paying for sex?
Are they?
is
Is
that
bodybuilding.com okay with that?
It's Facebook, and I don't sell on Facebook, so yes.
I see. Okay,
Gotcha.
no.
Yeah.
What
Small
happens?
plug here for Battle of the Brands. I'm not allowed to link there. But on YouTube, all of you guys should go vote for NutraBio and Battle of the Brands right now.
All right.
So anyway, for NutraBio Nation, we did a email blast. I finally convinced everyone that it was viable to do this. I think I've been trying to convince everyone for a few months that my project was worth it. And admittedly, Dana admitted like he didn't really see what that could be. What?
What? No.
He said
Your email marketing's been incredible lately. I think that was a good email blast.
It was what he said. He said, I've been trying to convince them for a while that this is worth it, and they didn't understand it.
Well, but hey, like that's the coolest part of this. The coolest part of this is that like they were pretty much like like Mark, like everyone's like no, like nurture it, do it. Like,
right.
And I was like, I'm also the kind of person like you tell me like I can't do something, or if, like you challenge me to something, I want it more now.
Right.
So we did one email blast finally out. Said, hey, free shipping, and in here, I mean that graphic we did. Shout out to Inez because that was freaking awesome. Like these are all the people you're going to meet in here. Our whole team that we could fit into this image.
Yeah.
You're going to get exclusive Q&As with Mark Glacier, which people don't get access to. You're going to get exclusive deals, content, and when we're looking for new flavors or new apparel ideas, or whatever, you're going to be able to get your input in there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, what kid coming up in the fitness industry doesn't want to somehow directly influence that?
Dude, and this is why you bridge the gap so awesome from NutraBio to the next generation, and you play a pivotal role in that.
Right?
And so on our
super cool.
Yeah, and so,
I remember walking out of my interview with this girl that we were with, Christina, and like I knew I'd gotten the job. And they pretty much just said like, you know, we're gonna talk things over. And I remember walking out and just looking at her and be like, I can't believe this. And she was like, why? Like you fit the mold. Like you know what you're doing. I'm like, you don't understand. Like there's millions of people in this industry. I subscribe to 200 different YouTube accounts. I subscribe to all these different Instagram accounts. But like I'm gonna get to do something. And so like I think that every follower wants to think like they can somehow like help with the dose of caffeine. Like if we ask them, you want 50 more milligrams in your pre-workout, and you can say no. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, we recently had Bruce Neller on. We were talking about stuff, and there's a video coming up on our podcast. We're talking about marketing to millennials, and that was actually one of the things is that the next generation, they want to give feedback on stuff. So the fact that you knew this, you know, there's a lot of engagement. You maybe didn't know that you know, but you knew, and so that you knew that we need a place for our best users to give feedback. Hey, should we come out with a cola flavor? And everyone's like, ew, no. And then maybe you shouldn't. You know,
it's not necessarily like with you. I mean, you're just like with me. I think, and the same thing with my role in PricePlow. It's not like I had to necessarily learn something. It's what was in my DNA and how I consumed information. It's what I want. I just started doing what I wanted and what I liked. You know, and that was natural. And that wasn't necessarily natural for you, like you, right, or Dan. You know, but
as CEO, I have to let the creative guy who's a little bit younger than me just do his thing. He's got one rule, maybe not two, but he's got one rule. And
no boomerangs.
No boomerangs.
There's no boomerangs.
Don't get us sued. If you get a suit over a boomerang, then you're super trouble. No, I'm kidding. But and so you gotta let him do this thing, and I think that's what Mark Glacier is realizing, is that Mark Glacier is the man on manufacturing and everything. Let Kane, you know, tinker over here and bring something, let it bubble on up. And it might be tough for Mark to kind of let that happen, but then you start seeing the success of that. And like, oh man, Ben put together an awesome community here, and you give him an email blast. And so it's time to let it rip. And
well, I'm really
congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. I mean, I keep saying like I was impressed with it, but like I want 6 more months. I know where this is going because I've seen it for some other communities, but I know that our community is going to be like another step on that. So we were talking about this quote from Steve Jobs this weekend a bunch, saying like, you don't hire smart people and tell them what to do. You hire smart people and let them tell you what to do. But kind of like let's move that more towards this. Like you hire someone with a certain personality or certain like passion or goal or whatever, and you kind of let them morph that a little bit into the community, a little bit.
Dude, that's Mike is the. I've said this so many times. Like he's sick of hearing it, I'm sure. But no, but it's like look. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, ever since I was 21. Right, got out of the military. I didn't go work for anybody else and I haven't for.
We live? They're not live.
We're back.
I think that's power.
All
from
right,
what's going on.
honest truth, we are back from a commercial break. CJ's anti-peeping Tom mode went off on the camera.
This, like, I don't know. So you're saying that there's an automatic cut on the freaking DSLR, and
Yeah.
you're saying you can actually, but you got to hack it.
You can flash the firmware on the camera, so you
See, this is how
That
good
voids a warranty, but you know what, PricePlow's willing to do that so that we can
Hey,
deliver
I
awesome
promise.
podcasts.
We don't need a warranty on this old Canon, man.
yeah.
We're ready for it's all right.
I was gonna tell you, like, I think
So-
it's okay with it.
So the plan right now then is Sweet Tea Intra
Yes, sir.
Blast.
Yeah, it should
All
be
right.
written on the bottom. So if you
Do you call it just Intra when you're at the office?
intra blast.
Okay, but yeah, for the sake of
You know,
marketing on the channel.
I feel like
Intra Blast.
we don't talk about Intra Blast
smell that
enough,
too.
man. Because this is, you said this to me. This is one of your favorite products.
100%.
And I can totally see why, because I know some of the Intra workout products, and there's really not many actually, to be honest with you.
Funny about it too. Like you think of like NEBCA as an intro,
Right.
but like if I ask you like, what are the intros out there?
But I also think that's where we can get stuck with Intrablast, though, is this is not just an intra
Yes,
product.
yes.
This is the intra all day, not going to finish it, but it's, you can use this product anytime during the
Right.
day. There's essential amino acids, BCAAs,
And
many
you were
more
early
other
to,
amino acids.
You were early to the EAA game
electrolytes.
too.
Exactly.
When I
So
got
this
the
isn't an
product
essential
for-
amino acid product. And,
no carbs.
you know,
No, now one thing we do have to talk about after the natural stuff and tasting this is true facts. So
Yes.
I just got the email. It's another thing I got to do a blog post on. You guys are killing me. Hiring writers. Anyway, are we allowed to talk about true facts yet?
Well, so let me give you like something to work off with the street facts. Something very cool about these two things is that they're not just sweetened by stevia. You guys haven't looked at the supplement facts panel yet. I'm actually very surprised the two of you haven't even looked at them.
Sorry.
Wait, you talking about?
The two of these products actually have 5 grams of organic raw cane sugar in them. So it's going to be a little bit different of the supplement facts panel because there's something missing from the top.
Wait a minute.
There's going to be sugar listed. This is not the
that's
final
actually
label.
not
Oh,
the,
'cause
the
yeah.
label.
It's not the final label.
That was just thrown on there. That's not the label.
Yeah, this
No.
is not the final label.
So,
So that's going to be another macronutrient that's going to be rounding involved with. So let's talk about rounding.
Let's talk about rounding, Ben.
So Mark came out with one of the most badass blog posts ever about rounding and how it should affect you and what you should look out for. I think yours went way more in depth. And so basically the idea is that companies can play with the serving size to bring the amount of a macronutrient like sugar, which would be important for some people, down to a point where they can round it to 0, or round it to a point where it's insignificant to most consumers.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem with that being like your example being like some type of ball.
Sea balls.
Yeah, and the serving size is the 1 ball, and it's a 1 gram ball, but we all know you're going to eat the whole pack of balls.
Right.
So you will think that you're actually getting 12
Your
times
example
0.
was balls.
interesting.
It was great. And there was a Z.
He doesn't read my finest blog post.
I did that. Not that's I speed read. I didn't catch.
There's
I didn't catch the
there's a
balls.
reason I did everything I did because I actually used a now discontinued product from another brand. Don't need to get into it, but it was an example. Yeah, you know you're going to eat the entire
You know,
bucket of these balls.
So like you
And
think
so-
what most people do is they take the serving size,
Pour this?
they
I don't know
multiply.
how to handle this.
That's why it was a fun blog
You're
post to write.
gonna look at the serving size. It's gonna say 0 sugar, but 12 servings per container, and you're gonna multiply 0 by 12 and get 0. So you think the whole container has 0, but what they don't tell you is that per serving there's really like 0.45 grams of sugar.
Right.
So actually there might be a significant
Multiply that
amount.
by 12, and guess what? That's actually
Yeah.
6 grams of sugar, which could mess up someone's macros a little bit.
But let's hold on. But
Somebody cares.
let's talk about this for a second because I think we actually had this conversation the first night. But here's one of my like. I'm for this. You guys know that,
I know
right?
this is going, yeah.
I'm for this. My issue is it starts to get to a certain depth where it becomes ridiculousness. Like the fact that the truth is, when it comes to basal metabolic rate, when it comes to activity, when it comes to all, it is an imperfect system. We're not in a closed off bubble.
Right.
We are so open and changing and adaptive that is it like it's kind of like with like the
It's cold in
cholesterol
Ohio.
thing.
You're burning more calories.
Right.
Yeah, that was
But is it worth like getting into the weeds with consumers? I mean, really,
Okay.
like, are you
It's
just
like doing a taste test. Is it worth it to do a taste test if you never talk about the taste or taste the product? It's
Cheers to
exactly
that.
like
All right.
that.
Yep,
And I have an
yep.
answer for
Intro
CJ
sweet
too.
tea.
Okay, all right.
Smelled great, by the way.
Oh, this is awesome.
This tastes the same as, if not better, this tastes exactly the same as what I remember Intrablast tastes.
That's what we've been trying to say. We put a lot, Mike Perez put a lot of work into this.
Are you sure you guys
I drank a lot of samples.
And it's got real teeth flavoring and all that.
Yes.
You look at the label.
Yeah.
The real label.
I don't know how much they watched, but like if you saw my reaction to the pre, and it was okay. But like this is good.
It's got the
this is really good.
It's got the lemony, sweet tea.
This is your intro. You're going to be drinking a full 24 ounces plus of this. I mean, I know I fill my cup back up.
Summer's coming. Texas gets hot, man. I could drink this stuff. You're like working out the big Tex gym. It's like 8,000 degrees.
This is going to be huge.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Expo West, you need to have the big, what is it called? The shaker thing that you pour out and everything. The dispensaries. You give it to everyone. Yeah, dispenser. Give it. You got to be giving this thing out to everyone.
Actually, we do have dispensers that we just got actually for Expo West this year. We have a few dispensers.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. I'm not sure they're called dispensers or drink coolers.
They're coolers.
I call them margarita machines.
Yeah.
Hey, that works too.
Yeah.
So, but the NutraBio answer to your question is yes. Maybe you're looking at 0.45 grams of sugar per serving is a little bit too close. But don't you want to know what's in your product? Don't you have the right to know?
Yeah. He's right.
I mean, like he does. It depends on the customer, and that's why it's not on every single label.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's buried somewhere on the website.
But that's what it's all about for NutraBio. It depends on what the customer wants. And if there's a consumer that wants that true facts, we're going to provide it for them.
Sure.
If there's a consumer that wants the product with Stevia instead of sucralose, we're going to provide that for them. We're going to provide whatever we need to, the best quality product for the consumer. Any version they want, and give everything we can to them.
I know a lot of guys in the gym that take our product. They love it. They know it works the best for them. They're good friends of mine. They don't have a clue a therapeutic dose for half of the essential amino acids. But they know that this product is what they want.
Right.
Not every consumer is going to look at the other ingredients and say, you know what, that's the amount of sucralose that's good for me.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
But if they did the research, they'd be able to see it on our label.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, like I said, I'm with you. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think sometimes, though, and this is always my worry, and again, I'm playing the opposite end here, is as much as people think they want to see under the curtain, maybe they need to be protected from what's under the curtain sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it's too chaotic. Are you ready to know what the president knows? You know what I mean? And I don't know that's so ridiculous.
That's a great analogy,
right.
Because we were just talking about the Mike before. Because he was saying now that
we're like nuclear warfare.
Well, look, headline. Okay, here's the thing. Headlines. Then you and I we come similar kind of generational mindset here, but we also are aligned in the sense that we want to know more. We appreciate education and digging further. We try to contradict ourselves so that way it's the scientific method with the millennial twist to it. My problem is, as much as you and I know that, headlines. Look, I put clickbait thumbnails on shit for a reason. Headlines matter.
What is he gonna name this one?
Headlines matter, and if you start they're reading the headline that cholesterol's giving you heart disease and killing you, so all of a sudden you find out the minutia of cholesterol that's in everything because these little rules that under a certain amount you can list zero. Is it worth scaring the piss out of everybody, or are you just conditioning the consumer to know more? Is your
that's our goal, is to continue to educate the consumer and give them reasons to think about things they weren't even thinking about before. Whether that's going to lead them to purchase more NutraBio products or not, that's up to them. But we feel like the more information, the more education we provide to our consumers, that's who our consumers are, the educated consumer, and ones who we educate.
Right. Well, that's the caveat. That's what I was going to say. It's kind of like, I owned a gym, right? And so when we changed it from just machines and bodybuilding hypertrophy stuff, we started putting deadlift platforms, CrossFit rig, climbing rope, all this stuff. I can't just put it in there and just assume that everybody's going to figure it out. I've got to put it in there and then teach you about it. And so
no, 100%. This was my issue with True Facts, and I said when we have the True Facts, it has to be an additional tab, and we have to provide a lot of information to educate the consumer what this is, why this should be important to them, and overall whole picture. We can't just drop it in and think that they're going to understand it. It could confuse them further to not purchase our product, and that's what I said. And so if we provide them all the information, we educate them why these things matter, then I think they're going to want it, and they're going to appreciate the NutraBio doing that for them.
I think it's a great point. I mean, and without, like, you don't have the scary side of this part, but like, even with check my subs, like, I'll show it to some consumers. I'll be like, hey, put the lot number in here. They're like, awesome. They get the lab results, and like, you know what? I don't know what this means.
Right.
And a lot of times, like, I will definitely explain to them. But the beauty of it to me is that even though a lot of consumers won't understand some of the stuff that we do, they can rest assured that we're putting it out there of our free will, and because we're comfortable and confident that it's going to.
But do you, you know, and I don't, nobody get offended here, but like, do you actually think that NutraBio is doing the best job providing the details around some of the things that you do? Like, look, you're letting them like look at the science behind the, you know, you're looking at Oz, but are you doing a good enough job explaining Oz? Like, it's there if they want it, but what can you do? Is it the YouTube channel? Is it more like does Ben get on camera and start like giving an explanation about why 211 BCAAs and why, you know, or whatever? Like, what is it?
I don't think we have to break everything down to the consumer. Again, our consumer is generally the educated consumer.
Sure.
So that's where we do well.
Right.
But the more information we can provide them, the better, of course. I don't think we necessarily need to start from the beginning with our consumers. And we are going to put out information. We are going to have blog articles, and we are going to do YouTube videos and, you know, break everything down. But I don't think we need to overdo it at the same time. If we took all our energy and from the success we've had with sales over the last few years and put it into just blogs and you know, YouTube, and we're going to crash and burn. We have to continue with what we're doing and just build upon that in the right directions to provide more information to our consumers.
I'd like to take a 10-mile out look at what you guys are doing, and I'm starting to look at functional foods and food in general. Buy a little baggie of Oreos, and now I'm like, wait a minute. I asked supplement companies, hey, how can you prove to me this wasn't made in a bathtub? Now I'm starting to wonder, like, okay, how about the food you eat? I don't see lab tests on that.
Dude, you know how many times, like, because I'm being a coach that's worked with like bodybuilding clients and stuff. But body recomposition was like almost my entire training career, basically, working with people on that. And how many times an Oreo weighs 1.5 times what it's listed on the label, and then that changes everything, right?
But let's, I mean, you just said this before. How close do you really look into this? How far in? Like, does that extra 2 ounces of Oreo?
All I'm saying is you're teaching me. You guys are teaching me to question everything.
Well,
that's it.
But that's actually, in a way,
I like that.
I like it too because I'm a nerd about it. But it also concerns me because look, I'm an if it fits your macros guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that at the end of the day, no matter what we're talking about diet related, you know, a calorie deficit, a calorie surplus, a maintenance point, getting appropriate amount of protein, it is what it is, right? Like whether you're keto, whatever. But I also know that I have seen from the psychological standpoint where if it fits your macros has driven people off the deep end because you're now freaked out about like, oh, well, and I didn't weigh out this gram or that gram, and I can see, you know, like I watch Robert weighs out like his, you know, his stems or whatever, or like and I'm like, you know, like, I mean, yeah, like I want to tell you guys that the scoop's fucking heavy and you're getting an extra 100 milligrams of caffeine, like that matters to me, but like, if it's point something gram heavy, like I almost don't want you to have to worry about it, so you can go on with your life.
I know some people.
You know what? I don't think that's what it's about. Rounding done in the wrong way is done to mislead customers.
Yes.
All right. So that's the problem. Or is that there is a problem? All right. It's not like we're just putting this out there. This is something that goes on in the industry and is not for the best interest of the consumer.
Yeah.
It's to gain, you know, financial, you know, gain and hide things. You know, that's not what NutraBio does, and we're just trying to show, again, just like we do with Check My Subs, with True Facts, we're going to show our whole hand, and you guys know all.
You can't always prove that other people are doing it, you can prove that you're not doing it.
Exactly.
There's like certain levels of
that's the goal.
Last paragraph of your blog summed it up really, really well.
He's got a really good memory. I don't remember what it says.
A certain person in the industry called out the last paragraph. It's the only reason I remember this. And I'll talk to you about that after. This was not the part you called out, but you said this is just something to look out for if you see things that are very small serving sizes.
Oh, right, small serving sizes.
And I think that's what Dan's kind of saying. It's like, you know what? many companies out there, Quest, it's the whole bar.
Yeah.
Nothing we're at. But if Quest said, hey, the serving size is an
1/10 of a bar. Exactly. Yes.
we'd all
That'd
be like,
screwed up.
no
Right.
way. So
Yeah.
it's. I think that we're just trying to say like, hey, you know what? Just look for this.
Yeah.
It'll throw a red
Right.
flag. You don't need to inspect every single
Yeah.
thing.
Long
And I
story
think-
short was, small
Yes.
serving sizes, red flag.
Just-
That's the blog post.
And I think that really comes down to like what you were saying. Like you don't need to worry about the amount of mustard you put on every meal if you're trying to lose 5 pounds by summer. You know what I mean? Like I think that.
And overall, my whole perspective of this, I found out about True Facts about the same time everyone else did. All right, so it's not about what we do, okay? It's about what the consumer wants and showing them. I totally lost my train of thought there.
Was anyone
Yeah.
asking for True Facts?
No one was asking for it.
Right.
Okay, so thank you. Nobody was asking for that. No one was asking for check my subs. Nobody is really looking for those things.
Checkmysubs.com, by the way.
Nobody is asking, us to disclose everything. We feel that we want to give that to the consumer so they know all.
Right.
All right, so they can have full trust in NutraBio. We don't need to do that. True Facts is not something we need to do. It's only our way, NutraBio's way of trying to take a supplement industry that has gone some incorrect ways, over the last decade, 2 decades, even further. What can NutraBio do to push it in the right way?
Well-
and this is one way, just like Check My Subs, that we can add a little bit more value and show we're trying to do more. How about everyone else comes to
For the
party?
record, I just want to say, checkmysubs.com is where their third-party lab tests
Yes.
are found. Also on their product pages, there's a tab for that too. But Check My Subs is what he means by
Exactly.
third-party lab tests from another place. They ship the thing or whatever,
Yeah.
and they come back with lab
No,
tests. that
nobody
goes
else was
online.
doing that. We decided to
Correct.
do that. This
And I
is
love that.
another thing we're going to do to, hey, guys, we can do this. Step up your game too.
Hey, guys, but here's the thing. And look, just being honest, all right? I keep hearing the righteous message from NutraBio, right? It's all about doing the right thing and cleaning up this dirty industry. There's a lot of people that are looking at you going, "It's a brilliant marketing move you're making there."
Yeah.
I'll be straight up. We got no marketing.
Well,
That's what we're working on.
but
our marketing
no, no.
has been doing the right thing.
Our marketing
But that's,
is what we
but that's,
do.
but that's
Yeah,
what I'm
our
saying.
marketing,
If
yeah.
you're doing something different, and be it the right thing or not, doesn't it seem like it's a brilliant marketing decision to tell people how amino acids have calories? Because nobody else is.
Okay.
So how do you
we can
stand
go
out
down
in a
that
very
rabbit hole
crowded?
next.
Yeah, I mean, there was a really great discussion on your forum about where do you put your funding? Do you put it into marketing? Do you put it into research and
Right,
development? Do you put it into quality? And the beauty of it is that by putting all of this money into quality control and research development,
Exactly.
we're really putting it into marketing.
If
Because-
you go the extra step
Right.
and show off the quality control, there's companies that say, "Oh, we do all the quality control." Prove it to me. Then if
So-
you're
But,
putting my
but
money
that's
there,
the thing.
go
We
the extra
haven't until
5%.
recently. Now we
Right.
put all our money into this. We just want to show everyone what we're doing and what
Right.
we're
And
truly
that's the
investing
mar-
into.
Yeah.
So what do you have?
It is a marketing,
You asked
yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah.
You asked Bruce why is NutraBio putting out their lab testing and no one else is? And Bruce is right. It's because our labs will let us do it because we work with labs. We are blessed that we have the opportunities that we have.
That's
because
where I was
we put
going.
the money in there and we're able to do this. But that's only because we're investing in that. You
Right.
know what I mean? You start off a company with X.
And it's-
how do you split up X? We put ours in the safe.
Because I think there's going to be companies out there that are going to say, well, NutraBio's, they're fortunate they have this manufacturing in-house. You know what I mean?
But
And
the whole thing
well,
is,
wasn't my luck, though.
we don't care what other companies are saying about us. We're not
Right.
going to get in and talking crap about this.
Well,
person,
they're
that
not even
person.
talking crap.
That's
They're
not
just
our
being
game.
having an honest
But-
conversation because you guys are saying we're showing
That
you
does- that
under the
doesn't-
curtain of
that
the
doesn't
manufacturing
affect
side of things.
NutraBio at all.
Yeah.
What affects NutraBio is what NutraBio does, and we're going to do what NutraBio does the best
Sure.
way we can.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, yeah, I know, I agree. No, I mean, look, and again, I'm with you guys. I 100% agree, but I think there's a side of this that I'm starting to see because I want to get in NutraBio's corner and be like, look, man, these are the only guys doing this and that, but there's a whole part of it that's not necessarily fully controlled by the company sometimes, where it's like if you don't in-house your manufacturing, as an example, the manufacturer is trusted. They're going through the same process
But
and all these things, but
we
they
understand that.
can't
NutraBio
control
didn't
what they're allowed.
manufacture our own products in 1996. We made the decision to do that. And if we lead a few supplement companies to make that decision to control their own destiny, then we did our job. Because it's not just about selling products to the end consumer. It is, we actually care about what's going in people's bodies. We actually care about people getting quality products. If it makes us money, great.
So,
all right? And yes, I'm a sales guy, and that's my number one thing. I want to make the company revenue. I've made the company a lot of fucking revenue.
Right.
But, you know, if there's a way to do it in the right way, you know, I'll be the first one. I've had multiple sales positions throughout the years, and even in different industries, all within fitness.
Right.
If I believe in what I sell, no one's better than me.
Yeah.
All right, but if I don't, everyone's better than me.
So why? Look, so NutraBio's got the manufacturing under control. You're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why not start bringing in other brands into your house so that you have control? Like why not spread the wealth?
Why would we build someone else's
I think the answer to
brand?
that question goes way up the chain to Margolis.
No,
I don't really know that.
No, but why would we build someone else's brand?
I think because if it's for the right thing for the supplement industry, one brand alone is not going to be the entire pie. You're always going to have the Sparta. You're always going to have the right. No, but
there's room for all of us.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you bring in if another brand gets manufactured at NutraBio's facility,
that doesn't do anything.
But what you're essentially saying is, because we get approached by companies all the time.
Sure.
Okay. Now.
And this is my own ignorance. I really don't know this side of the house.
To make someone else's product, I'm going to put mine into back order, and I'm going to bankrupt NutraBio. So now we only become a contract manufacturer. We are not a brand. All right. So we've made the decision to become a brand, not a contract manufacturer. We could do contract manufacturing, but that's not our game at this point. All right. Our game is to create the best product we can to build NutraBio brand.
Right.
If all we're doing is building everyone else's brand and giving them the best quality product, I mean that's fine. Yeah. But yes, this is a company we're trying to build.
So I guess this is a moral question. This is a moral question. This is the morality behind it. But like, okay, look. I recognize
another facility, just so you know.
I recognize I'm a really good personal trainer, right? Okay, really good personal trainer. So I do as many one-on-one clients as I can.
And that doesn't change the world, though.
It doesn't change the world, but whenever I take a step backwards and I teach other trainers to be able to, like, you know what I mean? So my question
That's what they're doing.
Well, right, by doing the.
We're not going to do it for them, but we're showing them what to do.
They're inciting change, and hopefully other manufacturers
so that's what I was going to ask
do
you.
that.
What can in your eyes, as this awesome third party view into the industry, what do you do to help other companies inspire them or whatever to be better other than manufacturing?
That's actually what's interesting about, and I'm trying to understand the manufacturing side of the house. I don't understand it fully, but like. It seems that there's a lot. Well, it seems like there's a lot of. But there's like a lot of people. Look, a lot of people bitch at the brand, and the buck stops there. Like, right? But
legally
there's
speaking.
but there's a step backwards in the manufacturing house, right? And that's where ultimately, like, the quality control and the dosing and all this stuff.
That doesn't fly with me. It's up to you to test your own product.
Right.
All right. And if you get your own product, and before you ship it to a consumer or to anyone, you should have tested your own product. And if you have not tested your own product and you ship product somewhere and it's not meeting label claims, there's products in there that shouldn't be, the doses are incorrect, shame on you.
There are companies that are doing that from the contract manufacturer.
Yeah, no, you should test your own products, or you should at least receive testing results from your contract manufacturer. And if they're giving you fake, testing results, then 100% shame on them. But if not,
do you believe that the best way for NutraBio to incite change in a potentially corrupt industry is as a brand or a contract manufacturer?
As a brand, challenging other brands.
What my question is, to change the industry. Like, let's just say change is like open, right? You want to change the industry to the biggest percentage that you can. Is the best position to be in as a contract manufacturer or as a brand? Because I see as the brand, you're pushing a marketing game or whatever, but as a contract manufacturer, you've got kind of like control over a certain segment.
And you know what? I completely understand what you're saying, because and the first thing you're saying, because it's a marketing game. And if you worked in NutraBio like myself and Ben, and you saw the passion of Margolis, you saw the passion of our staff, it's not a game.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just real life. And
that's Mark Glaze.
That's what it is.
That's Mark Lowliners.
Yeah.
Let me turn it back on you. As a brand, can you think of anyone else who has changed the industry as a brand as much as NutraBio has?
No.
Because
marketing-wise, yes, but not.
Oh yeah. But no. Look.
Who's changed as
far as I'm concerned, I said this before. Like, I think you set the standard. Yes, like I think what's interesting to me, and I'm also a big fan of the David and Goliath concept, right? Like, and I think that, you know, NutraBio's not small, but like we start to see levels on levels on levels in this industry, and in comparison to certain things, but you guys are doing things that even, or at least opening up doors that haven't been opened up on some of the highest and most expensive levels.
And see, that's the thing is, you know, we are not the largest company, and we don't have the most money. All these other companies could do what we're doing, but that hasn't been important to them. This is just what's important to us,
right?
And that's NutraBio. So, you know, our goal isn't to be a contract manufacturer. Our goal, and we were at one point, but we couldn't do that because we only have one contract manufacturing facility, and that can only be worked so many hours per day. All right, and we make the decision: do we build someone else's brand, or do we build ours? And if we're building other people's brands, can we control their message? So, but can we control their brand's message?
No.
So, I would say the only way we can change it to be most effective is by being NutraBio.
Sure.
I have two arguments for this. One, a lot of people are going to hate, but first off, I think it's brand because you're trying to educate the consumers, and as a contract manufacturer, you really can't educate the consumer. You're not connected to the consumer.
Sure.
So that's the quick answer there.
It's like boots on the ground, like the grunt versus the CEO.
The second answer is how do you get SARMs off the market? Okay.
I don't think they're an issue.
Rhetorical question. If you want to get SARMs off the market as a brand or contract manufacturer, how do you do it?
I'm going to steer clear of this because we've never sold SARMs, so I don't necessarily want to really give my opinion.
So CJ's asking a question. I think that if you want to change the industry, you want to change bad things in the industry. I hate to tell everyone because everyone's going to hate me for this.
Yeah.
But it's with lawyers at this point right now. And how did anyone get SARMs off the market? It was the lawyers at the end of the day. And so whether you like it or not, a lot of people out here are libertarians. I have a libertarian streak in me, but you know, there are certain laws that probably should be followed, especially when there are some that are carcinogenic. And to me, it was neither brands nor contract manufacturers made change. It was sadly the dude doing the laws.
I don't think there was enough time, like in my opinion though, that it wasn't given enough time. Like, okay, yes, attorneys at this point are starting to get involved, but the problem is there's now going to be repercussions through government organization, it's a black on the supplement industry. But I'm a big fan, like, and this is where my libertarian point of view, we need to internally police ourselves, give PricePlow and the NutraBios and enough time to be able to police our own versus getting involved in having to have the FDA.
We can't force any company to do anything. All I can say is I can only speak for NutraBio.
Right.
So that's all I can say. What I can say and speak for NutraBio is we will never be the company to break out a new ingredient. Okay, and the reason for that is we want to see science-backed results over time to know this is what's going to work for the consumer. So we're not going to jump and just make a SARM because did anyone know anything about it when they started producing it? So that's not our game. Right. And I think anything that is going into someone's body, all right, if it's being sold, unless they know it's legal, and then that's on you, okay. Right. But if it's being sold in a nutrition store and whoever's selling it in the store or whoever's producing it, actually it's really on the people producing it, if they know that this is not something that should be going into someone's body, it shouldn't be produced, it shouldn't be sold, and or whether you haven't waited for the science evidence-backed results over a period of time, you shouldn't produce it yet. So it just goes down to the contract manufacturers, and the problem in this industry is, problem in any industry is greed. It's all about money, 24/7. All I can say is, obviously, we are a company, we're trying to make money, but that's not our only priority. So
you guys have seen me on your YouTube channel and your forums a few times saying this kind of thing. My stance on SARMs is like any other performance enhancing drug. People are going to use it, athletes are going to use it. But here's the thing, if you try to pass it off as dietary supplement, first of all, a lot of them aren't what they say they are. When you say it's Austrian, it could be a low dose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's the thing, people are going to use, I'm going to differ with you two on this, I'm going to put this in there because it's going to be a little controversial. I feel the same way about DMAA. I take DMAA before my meets because it pumps me up like nothing else.
I was going to ask about your pre-powerlifting. Okay.
About 2 days a year. I'll take it.
Yeah.
People will find performance-enhancing drugs and they will consume them, but they won't make any mistake about it because it's not a dietary supplement.
I couldn't agree with you more.
If you want to enhance your performance, and I've said this, and I don't know who it is that answers me on YouTube, but go to a doctor. There are more than enough HRT clinics in the country. Get blood work regularly, take care of yourself, and perform at that higher level. We're at the Arnold. You know what I mean? No, dudes on that stage up there are not taking Ostrine from some bathtub company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to a doctor and they're taking care of themselves.
And they got a
when they're
lot of
passing
blood
out
work,
on
right?
stage. Guess what? If you want to be a smart athlete, and I think that's where SARM should go. SARM should not be dietary supplements. It's on you. If you want to take a sketchy pill that says it's
your opinion falls within it falls within the law, actually.
Right.
If it's sold as a supplement, that is legitimate fraud.
Exactly.
Now, if you buy a baggie of white powder, you know what it is, they know what it is, and everyone agrees it's a research chemical, there may not necessarily be fraud involved because they didn't sell you a false bill of goods. But when you put a supplemental label, then we have serious legal problems. And that's kind of where, and so I think we can come to the middle on this. But I'm saying, if you want to get something out of the supplement industry, being a brand nor a contract manufacturer doesn't do anything. You want to self-police it? Sorry, dude, but PricePlow.com blog is not going to do shit. It's going to have to be someone with legal firepower.
So,
I hate the world we live in, but that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
So I marry a stripper. She cheats on me. Should
Sounds like personal.
yeah, right.
Isn't illegal.
No.
What does her cheating on you have to do with her being a stripper?
Right. Well, because it happens to be her job to be out there. Well, anyway, I make the decision to marry a stripper. She cheats on me. Okay. Should it be illegal for me to marry a stripper? Because what if she cheats on me? Or can I make the choice to do that? Can I take that risk?
I see your metaphor or whatever. It's
So is this like the same type of question?
I am
if you
so
married,
confused by this now.
You're saying DMA. You said DMAA. You said you feel the same way about DMAA. My thing is, you're right. We don't have all the research behind it. We don't have all the data behind it. Okay. I want to be able to make the decision. If there's no data saying right or wrong, I want to be able to make the decision.
Did she give you chlamydia?
That's a good.
And if she gave you a health problem,
She didn't really
then
hurt
there's
you
a
by cheating on
there's
you.
an issue here.
But-
and this is the problem.
but what if you
SARM
can't-
They can
What about DMAA?
cause a health problem.
I'm not talking about SARMs. But what about DMAA?
Oh, we were talking about SARMs.
I
You
don't
can't
know why
pull
I
this
said
one.
that.
Well, he said it.
I don't know. I just I feel like.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't really speak on the DMAA.
Let's pull DMAA out
but
because that actually kind of screws up the
I
whole
do
thing.
want to talk about your powerlifting. You mentioned this is a total change of subject if anyone's ready to change or whatever, but I've been meaning to ask, you recently pulled a ton of weight and everything, and what your NutraBio stack is for that, and then you just kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. So.
Well, there's a certain amount.
There's a training stack, and then there's
training
the
stack,
pump you up right before.
I'll be honest with you. That day I knew I was going to get under and pull over 600 pounds, and then I was also going to hold 400 pounds over my face.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of stupidity to that, and I love our pre-workout. But NutraBio Pre does not make me stupid.
Yeah.
NutraBio Pre gives me a great pump, gives me great focus, but it takes about 120 milligrams of DMAA for me to want to do. I'm talking over the course of an 8-hour day.
Oh, right. Okay, so you're microdosing to a day or something.
There's no reason to take that and then go to a regular gym session. Though. That's the thing.
Actually, I don't know what the.
Why would you take that much 1-3 and then go train chest? It doesn't make sense. All right.
I don't think that
completely different.
I don't think that a run-of-the-mill gym rat needs a dose of DMAA to bench.
And honestly, that's my overall issue with pre-workouts in general. Is pre-workouts have just become stim, not a pre-workout. And that's personally why I use NutraBio's pre-workout, which is an overall pre-workout. It's not just a stim product.
Use pre or pre-extreme?
I generally use pre. I will use pre-extreme here and there, but sometimes the Yohimbe can give me headaches.
Right.
So
I love the carb component.
Yeah. So I'll actually, I'll put in, plus reduction in our pre.
Extreme in a way.
Isn't this all interesting though? You're saying so what you said is they're all stems or whatever, and I don't disagree with you.
Not
there,
all,
right?
just a lot.
No, I don't disagree.
Only a stim product.
I don't disagree with you there, but at the end of the day, a supplement by definition is it's a superficial thing. This is not. you don't need caffeine. You don't need any of this shit. So it's like at the end of the day, it's what they want.
The way that
like,
I
what do you
look at
want?
it, though, is like,
Acute strength gains for what he's doing in a powerlifting meet. I think that's
but
that's what he wants.
For a different reason. That, so like when I talk to people about pre-workout, a new kid comes to my gym and I ask him, hey, what pre-workout are you using? I'm using,
Don't say other names.
Some ridiculous name from something that ends with a Z, and it's like
yes.
it's like a
PricePlow Labs.
Yeah,
black
Z,
hole flavor.
750 milligram proprietary blend, and the first ingredient's like something that
Taurine.
I don't think should be. And it's just a whole bunch of sins. I'm like, what? Okay, like I don't pass any judgment. Why do you take this? Like, oh, it hypes me up to go bench 185 pounds. You know, like, I'm like, but like if you take NutraBio Pre consistently for a month, you're not only going to have caffeine. Caffeine's like I think the lowest dose ingredient in your workout. You know, you're getting all these other benefits. You know, hydration, focus.
Exactly.
Like, it's so much more than waking up. It kickstarts your recovery.
But Ben,
you know?
would you agree that a supplement is something that's going to help you, add strength over time, add recovery over time, not just something that's going to, yes, a supplement can be caffeine, but a supplement is something that's going to help your diet, make you help with progress over time. In my opinion, that's what I think of supplement.
What you just said, a pre-workout does not need to be an acute supplement.
Oh, okay. I was thinking in terms of your powerlifting meet, so I would like to.
But
okay,
so that's my point. That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah. How's he going to gain strength over time? Through diet and correct supplementation, not by taking caffeine every day.
So let's talk about like conjugate training. This might be something you. The idea is build, don't test.
Right.
You're building. The same idea with pre-workouts. I take NutraBio Pre or Pre-Extreme on a daily basis to build. But when I'm testing, like, I'm not trying to be healthy when I'm at a meet.
Yeah.
And I'm very honest with you. I live off of gummy bears, a trail mix, and a lot of stimulants. Because he
eats more junk food the week before his meet than anyone I've ever seen. I'm talking KFC, Taco Bell, Wendy's, every few hours.
Well, he lifted professional level weight or something like that.
Yeah, no, he killed it, man.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Doesn't beta-alanine fall within this category of a lot of companies use it for a tingle factor and a fakes, but at the end of the day, it's a saturation issue
Let's
over time.
have a conversation about beta-alanine. Let's get CJ going.
Look, in my opinion, it's not worth it.
Beta-alanine are the reasons that I hate beta-alanine. Because that tingling is not what you're using it for. The tingling is a great, it's a great indicator that this product is dosed well, but you're using that over long-term benefits because that tingling doesn't do shit.
Exactly, but you're not buying a bottle of Pre and using it one time before a powerlifting meet. You're using that months on end, 5+ days a week. That's the whole goal. Some people bounce around pre-workouts. That's perfectly fine. But there's a large community of people that are looking at a Pre as a supplement. Some are just swapping out their stim every month. So, and that's fine too. You do what you do. So
I think I'm actually still skeptical, because I think a lot of the community is a body recomposition. That's the mass majority of people.
100%.
So get away from the performance side of things. I'm still skeptical regarding beta-alanine and effectiveness when it comes to that community.
I agree.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying this data doesn't you extend sets or whatever, but
what's the point of buffering that pH?
But is this your personal thoughts on it, or so you're not looking at the scientific studies and the benefits of it?
No. I'm also looking at the studies. I know the benefits. I know that you have increased anaerobic area, right? So you can get more out of your set. But I also know
the set is 60 seconds longer.
Yeah, if the set is 60 seconds long, and even that Dr. Hector Lopez said that last night. He was like, he kind of was with me. He was like,
if you're doing sets of 5,
technically it could. He's like, but it's hard for us to be defended.
Body recomposition and doing sets of 5.
So let's look.
No. But still, even a set of 12 to 15. I don't know how long. That's not going to take over 60 seconds. And again,
it really depends. Everyone trains differently. I do pretty much tempo with everything. I'm thinking about, a negative, thinking about a contraction, I'm thinking about the positive. Every single rep I do. So every single rep I do is going to take 5 seconds. All right, so if I'm doing 12+ reps, which I think most people that are doing body recomposition are
You're
doing.
right at that margin though, between 60 and 90 seconds is the latter end of glycolysis, right? And so that is well, at the point that point at which we're efficiently using muscle glycogen and using using carbohydrate for energy, and so past that marker, we start to tap into oxidative. It's basically when oxidative and glycolysis are starting to like tap into one another.
Yeah.
And so my thing, and again, I'm not necessarily saying that it can't help. It's just as much possible that for muscle building it could help. But I'm skeptical, and it's just because hypertrophy is not in a bubble. Like load matters, tempo matters, frequency matters, volume matters, recovery matters. There's so many things. So like somebody could very well for hypertrophy be lifting sets of 5. They could, I mean, dude, 5 sets of 10 and 10 sets of 5 have been shown to have almost identical muscle hypertrophy over time because volume is equivalent.
Mm-hmm. So
I really think that depends on.
You got a really good point.
It's so individualized. I personally, I believe everyone has different muscle fibers and they're going to respond differently to everything. So I mean that's tough. I don't know.
I remember.
I haven't seen those studies, so I need to see.
I remember one video with Jim Wendler when one of the best things that he said that he learned was realizing like what GPP is for one person is normal for another. So you guys are familiar with GPP is general physical preparedness.
Right.
So part of like conjugate is like going for a walk. Like even though like your powerlifting, that's your sport, your general physical preparedness is walking. But for a football player, like some people think like football players should be benching 400 pounds. Football players don't compete in bench press.
No, it's
bench press
specificity.
is yes, exactly. So for body
when they get tested at the combine, what are they doing?
Exactly. But so
That's so
for a body
as a trainer, as a fitness coach, that irritates the shit out of me.
But for a body recomposition person, strength is a GPP. Strength is a tool for them to use.
But so is endurance.
Yes.
So that's my problem with hypertrophy. I just had a conversation with John Meadows where we're talking about this. Hypertrophy is unfortunately an open-ended conversation. Mm-hmm. There is some strength component, there is an endurance component, and then there's somewhere in the gray area component as well.
Well, we're still learning more about it. It's not like this is open and shut. We're learning more about hypertrophy.
There's no point where like improving that strength and improving that endurance through supplementation and training doesn't come back and somehow improve that. It's a tool that you can use better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were talking about load. Like you're doing 5 sets of 10 or 10 sets of 5. Doing that with 400 pounds instead of 200 pounds is going to be a more efficient. You move more tonnage.
Sure. No, and I agree. And so again, I'm kind of like it's kind of like having a conversation with like the average Joe, guy that like works at Dell and he goes and like works out and he wants to build some muscle, whatever. And I'm like, what's some good supplements? Okay, creatine for sure is proven scientifically backed. It's good, whatever. Mm-hmm. Is that extra 2 reps that he got from doing the creatine? Does it matter for that motherfucker? Like honestly, he doesn't have the perfect diet.
Over the course of time, yes, I think so. But yeah, I want to come back to the 10
But he's not like
you're asking beta alanine body composition. Let's get back to being sexy. And so at the end of the day, what are we here for? Seriously. So at the end of the day, though, you're like, does beta alanine really have anything to do with body composition changes? And
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters enough for me to be uncomfortable like that.
That's exactly
my problem.
Right, and that's
but
kind of where
everyone
TJ's
has a different sensitivity to beta alanine.
Sure.
So
and apparently,
I'm kind of joining.
Though. How much does those 2 reps weigh against being uncomfortable? I'm not comfortable in the gym though.
Does beta alanine give you 2 extra?
Thank you. I think if you're very comfortable in your workout, you're not working out.
No. And that's not.
I don't know.
If you're comfortable, you're working out.
You're hanging out. You're not working out. Okay.
He's talking about ants on his face and stuff.
Yeah, no. I have no problem with taking a set to really painful. Like, look, I'm not unfamiliar with bodybuilding and like pushing myself to the limit, So like I understand that, but
insert picture of CJ in a photo.
Yeah, right. But
you have to use the gunshots like you did for that video. Like
I haven't heard gunshots on the channel lately, and we haven't had too many videos demonetized since the gunshots ended.
You never saw them. I don't think you ever saw. I had a cool graphic that I made where it's like if I roasted somebody on the channel, like my graphic popped up and I had a sideways pistol.
This is NutraBio being cool. Like we're like talking about stuff that CJ wants to talk about.
Look, my thing is again. Okay. I'll put
this dude. I got a picture of this dude. With the ski mask.
Ah, Jesus.
I'll put it to you this way. All right. I guarantee you that Dan can relate to this. Okay, like. You were heavy into the bodybuilding scene.
Yep.
Okay. And you know what? Think about this for powerlifting with you. All right. Same conversation. And you with swimming.
I wear it.
So,
Speedos and all.
okay.
You guys shave your legs more than we do.
I'll never forget sitting there with my now fiance, okay? And I've been a skinny guy my whole life, right? And I remember like sitting down to this huge plate of food and I'm like force feeding myself. And there was a point in my life at 5'8" that I was 200 pounds almost, kind of chubby 200 pounds, but I'm like pushing. And I had this coming to Jesus moment where I'm like, what am I doing? Is this worth it? Like to what I'm trying to do. Like I'm so uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna be Phil Heath. I'm not like so. Yeah. At what point, like same thing with like the beta alanine thing. It's like at what point is my face wanting to itch off worth that next set? I enjoy the set. I don't enjoy.
You must get it bad, dude.
I look at it.
Yeah.
All right. It's only worth it. Everything we do in life, the positive, the negative, it's only worth it if it leads us where we want to be in the end.
Sure.
All right. All my years of bodybuilding led me to be right here, right now, and I'm pretty happy for it. So bodybuilding led me to eventually find NutraBio, be an athlete, start off as a bottom level sales rep, and move all the way up to national sales director. So if I didn't bodybuild,
so you started from the bottom, now you're
here. Yeah.
So Dan, do you define it?
That's a song.
Drake's.
Oh, okay.
So do you define yourself by your job?
Wow.
I define myself by the success I've had in life, and knowing and setting goals for myself that I don't want to be, average. I want to be successful.
Hell yeah.
And whatever I'm going to tackle in life, I'm going to fully tackle it. So in bodybuilding and doing anything tough, that can lead you to doing other things and lead you to just being at powerlifting, being in Vitamin Shop, being in the right place at the right time sometimes, or literally, I was the right place at the right time for NutraBio when they found me.
What's your story with that?
I was an athlete for NutraBio, and I was actually just looking for a company of products I could trust really, because I got burned by another company. I'm not going to say who that is. I was not happy with a few things that happened, and
there were no balls involved.
Yeah, there's no balls involved, thankfully. But I was looking for a company I can trust. Luckily, I had a friend at the time that referred me to somebody that was working at NutraBio years ago. Have I missed something?
That's gonna be the title for the video. There were no balls involved in making this video.
So,
sorry, dude.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
But I was one of the top athletes for NutraBio for years, and Mark eventually reeled me into taking a sales position years after initially talking to me about it. I had, with similar to CJ, had my own personal training business. I was very successful with that. I saw kind of writing on the wall for the personal training industry, and I did it for over a decade, and I was ready for something new. I accepted a sales position and started off with a few states and moved to regional, moved to national sales manager,
doing all that?
Yeah, and then straight up to national sales director. So just doing that by working hard and anything I think you're pushing in life, it teaches you how to continue to push in a different avenue. So
how much do you travel now?
Now I'm not traveling where I was initially, where I was like living out of a car, hotel to hotel. But now, for example, Jersey to Columbus to California, I'll be out there for a week, I'll be back. Then, I'm going to be in Florida and Wyoming and California next month.
Nice.
So it really depends on the month. Some months, we're sharing our space in the office and getting
punching
it done.
each other in the face.
Yeah,
you two are in the office together. How does that? There's no.
I don't know why we thought that having the same cubicle area was a good idea. It was totally a Step Brothers move though. I remember like walking up and just be like, dude, we should like room together up here. We can get so much work done. And like it literally like was that scene from Step Brothers. They're like nailing the bunk beds that aren't bunk beds. And like the next week, like he can't get out of the cubicle without me moving first.
Yeah.
So it's like
no. I mean it's not a small cubicle, but it's not a very large.
It's not
cubicle.
A cubicle for two large
but
men.
you know what? As NutraBio has grown, we didn't really need to have many offices before. Now we're building offices. We're building an entire marketing area. We're hiring new marketing people.
You have that upstairs
growing.
Area.
Exactly. We still have everything upstairs.
Film studio is gonna be like.
Yeah. No.
Wait, so can we, let's be exactly though. Like actually, like, seriously, this part I think. I've never actually been uncomfortable from beta alanine ever, but like on that whole topic, like if you are willing to get uncomfortable for what you're doing, like, this has been bothering me this whole process.
Yeah.
Like, do you really want to be doing it?
So,
like, I'm not going to say like,
here's the logical fallacy though.
If it helps, yes.
No.
But if it's not,
I'm not the number one powerlifter in the world, but yesterday at the animal cage, Eddie Kwang bled all over the floor, deadlifting 800 pounds, failed in the last rep, and was happy. Dude,
this is the logical fallacy of what this is where I want to point out that where I think the disconnect is. First of all, served in the Marine Corps for 6 years, fought overseas. I know all about like being uncomfortable, okay? Like I get it. It led me to having the work ethic, to becoming an entrepreneur, to being the best trainer that I possibly could. Like I got down to a DEXA scan where I was 4% body fat. I mean, you could see my spine. You know, like I understand like the suffer, the hard work. With that being said, being somebody, look, there was a point where I remembered bro dieting, meal plan, like pushing myself, and like it was the most important thing in the world. And I had to go through that in the young era, then be able to step back and understand that it's okay for people to not necessarily want that level of that thing.
Right.
And what my question to you guys is, and let's face it, first of all, you're not really a bodybuilding company, okay, right?
No.
And I don't even necessarily, I mean, I think you have a lot of great athletes and but who's the mass majority of the people buying your supplements?
Can I take this one? I'm going to try to say this without using someone else's slogan, but our consumer is the person who will do whatever they need to do to get to what they're doing.
I thought that was 5%.
Shut up.
Alley-oop that, man. What are you doing?
Our consumer is actually educating themselves on what needs to be in their product. That's why they'll take a 28-gram pre-workout. You know, like I have, I'm gonna shout my friend out here. My friend Tony that I lift with is 280 pounds. He's a massive super heavyweight bodybuilder, but he knows every single essential amino acid that goes into his body. You look at him, you're like, that dude's a meathead. Like that dude.
But that's not our consumer. Like
but it's also the swimmer. But it's also the swimmer who knows what he needs to do to break his PR. It's the CrossFitter who's trying to be.
He can't even stay in ketosis.
No, it's whoever is looking for the best out there to get them to their best.
It's not one sport. It's whatever you're doing and educating yourself to do that the best you could.
What if I want to? What if I want to be the? I enjoy the gym, but I enjoy it because I enjoy the gym because I want to be able to go and just be a stress reliever and enjoy the gym for what it. When I started working out, it was overseas and it had nothing to do with body recomposition. And here I am, like I've been around, I've done some shit, I got a bunch of trophies, I like built stuff, like whatever, but now I'm in a position where like I want to just go enjoy my like 3 sets of 10 here and there, and I want to be able to take like something that wakes me up, but I don't want to itch my face off because I'm not like.
All right, but you're talking about ingredient beta-alanine. All right, that's just an ingredient. All right, I personally believe that anyone that is going to the gym to reach a goal, if they're going to purchase a supplement and they're going to spend the $40, spend the $40 the best way you can.
Sure.
And that's what we're trying to provide.
One of my favorite ways to show people what we do and to kind of just like give them the idea is like turn around a protein bottle in a store and just be like, you know, like on the bottom of that label where there's those words you can't even pronounce that might not even have vowels in them. They're like, oh yeah, I hate those, but I have to take them because they're in every product. I'm like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Like you spark a little bit of question in their head. They're like, I don't need a proprietary blend. I don't need to worry about if this product is what they say it is. You know, like it doesn't have to be the top athlete. I'm not the #1 powerlifter, but what I want to do is get the product that's the best for $40 and you can get. You know.
Sure. No, I mean that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going back to your beta-alanine though. Why are you giving me 3.2? Like, why don't you just split it up? Put it in the post. Give me like half in the pre and half in the post.
Should we tell them that there's more in the post?
Oh crap! Is there
part of the NutraBio system? You're not getting 3.2. You're getting 4.8.
Gotcha.
If you do the whole system,
Reload has 1.2.
Yeah, but like, can you at least can we flip flop those? Because I mean, like, I don't want the itchy face during my workout. I'll say, like,
But
can I
do
take
you
it
know-
after? Because then I'm eating too, and that carb settles it down.
CJ, do you know that there are consumers that purchase raw beta alanine
Crazy
and add beta
fuckers.
alanine to their pre-workouts?
You
So
know-
there are consumers that do
No,
not
yeah.
like beta
No,
alanine,
I
and there's
get that.
some
Yeah.
that love it. And you know what? There's some that love it just because it makes them itch their face off.
Yes.
As crazy as that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got
They're
a
activated.
guy, Tony Lukens from Supplement Reviews, who was taking, I think, like 4 to 5 grams of it pre-workout this month. I was like, dude, that is
Yeah,
power
so
to you, because
everyone's an individual.
There was a pre-workout with 4.8 recently on the channel.
Yeah, it was a
Holy
good,
shit.
good title. CJ titled it
but
so
here's
much
the thing,
beta alanine.
That would be way too much for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's
would
doesn't
love
matter about maybe it makes me itch, or maybe someone else doesn't feel it, so they love it or they hate it. It's about the clinical studies that show the dose that should be therapeutically used. We use that dose.
Have you used the time release beta alanine?
No.
The long-term stuff. Have you seen it?
Speak up. Or don't speak
Well,
up.
I'm not speaking up. Okay.
I don't know. So I always like wonder, like, kind of changes the subject, but like when you got this whole opiate crisis going on, people are in pain. I would like
That
to
is a
know.
switch.
Yeah, no, I get back to
Okay.
it though. I'd like to know, like, what does their pain really feel like, and is their pain
Yeah.
the same as mine? So I'm kind of wondering, like, what does your tingle face really feel like? Because I get a little tingle face, but I don't mind it. You must like really feel
No,
it.
there's some
Does
people
it
who are
like
so
vibrate?
sensitive
Does
to
it vibrate your
beta
whole head? Or
Like it feels like my eyeballs, like the way Cyclops on the X-Men must feel when he's about to like
Okay.
seriously,
You know what?
like heat coming from my eyes.
So you know
sometimes.
what's funny?
I don't know why it's so funny.
My
When
ears
I-
feel just like crazy.
Man, that's so interesting, because when I get beta alanine tingles, my chest turns red and I just want to scratch.
Yeah, no, it can have to happen.
Not my
to me,
face
too.
at all. I feel like I have.
no neck, just chest.
My face is always red, so
I was gonna make that joke.
yeah, my ears, my face. I can see from here. I look like a cherry, because I think it's hot in here.
He's the
It might
biggest
just be
cherry
on
I've ever
camera.
seen.
When you're talking,
Yeah,
I think talking and doing this kind of thing expends like a lot of calories.
We get
I
really.
put myself
I
deep
feel like
into
we get
ketosis
exhausted
doing one
from
of
doing
these.
our videos, but yeah, I think so.
What were you talking? Oh, so you just get itchy.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear
think everyone
anything
gets
about being exhausted from videos.
I don't know. I want to pull my shirt off.
And then you got to do the editing too, and sit in front of the computer.
Yeah, you know how long this podcast is going to render?
Oh, I was just. Oh,
Do you
yeah.
edit
No,
these?
I think you
You
should
don't
break
need
this
to edit.
down.
Well,
into
Except for the
multiple-
gunshots, we got to add those in. Other than that, so we are closing out now, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Podcast.
Thank you,
Powered by
CJ.
so much,
NutraBio
man.
Free. And so, whoa, man, look at these two. I think these two to be continued here. So subscribe to both channels.
It's all love. It's all love.
Subscribe to NutraBio and PricePlow. We got to do this more often, and so we're
Definitely.
going to go live now on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do it.
Later.
Welcome to PricePlow.